take two.
Live from the YMSL studios, this is the Week 10 edition of the Doug Less Report. I'm your host, Norman Jemal. On my left, from the Houston Astros, we have Maurice Haber.
How you doing?
And on my right, from the Untouchables organization, we have Dr. Abady. Chucky, how are you?
Okay, Norm. Pleasure to be here.
A ton of action
It's going to be a great
on.
show, Norman. A lot of things to talk about.
The biggest thing to talk about is who Maurice Haber and the Houston Astros will be playing in the postseason.
I certainly don't know right now, but I have to tell you, I have a couple of ideas, but you're just going to have to wait.
Well, we'll find out before the hour is up. I know everyone's waiting with bated breath.
Yes.
Once you pick, assuming you don't pick Helter Skelter,
We have the...
which you may.
Yeah.
We have Douglas DeWeck in studio ready to make the pick for Helter Skelter. And we'll go from there and let the chips fall where they may.
Sounds good.
Now, let's start with the Week 10 action. Crazy movement in the standings. A lot of action on the field, a lot more action off the field. We'll get to it. We'll get to everything. Bottom line is the Hebrew Nationals entered the week in 5th place.
Wow, with one win to get in. Just one win they needed.
They played 3 games. They lost their 4th, 5th, and 6th in a row.
Unbelievable.
And find themselves on the outside looking...
Breaking news, Abady Saka.
Missing the playoffs with Abady Saka. Amazing development.
How do you feel as the Indians GM to have Abady Saka out of the playoffs?
I love that he's out of the playoffs.
So do I.
I got to tell you the honest truth. And
no, but I'll go a step further. Not only did he only need one win, but 2 losses by the Cardinals, 1 loss by the Dodgers.
Everything broke against him.
17 combinations and he's in.
Everything broke.
It was almost impossible for him not to be in. And those that became one with the whiteboard last week, as Albert suggested, you become one with the whiteboard. We could have seen the only way they would have missed it. And all those developments all happened.
But I know you'll get to it later, but to his defense, he didn't play the play-in game.
We'll get there.
I know we'll get there. He didn't play the play-in game.
We have an hour-long show, and we can't get it all in the first minute. Let's see how they even got to a play-in game.
Yep.
In order for a play-in game to happen, the Cardinals needed to split with the Untouchables.
Yes.
Now, the Cardinals were facing the Untouchables without Leo Casson on the mound.
And 3 other guys.
And no Jaime Shama.
And no Mark Braha.
And no Sifu.
And no Adam Marshall.
Sifu, that's big.
So they only needed 1 win to force a play-in game. They could have gotten 2 wins, and they would have been in the playoffs scot-free.
Yep. They play on Fireman's Field.
At the same time, the Dodgers needed to win both against Abady Saka
or else they
and
could
the
not
Nationals.
get in, absolutely.
And none of this would have happened. But Chucky, let's start with your game. You're the Untouchables. You're playing the Cardinals. You're very short-handed, without your shortstop, without your pitcher, without your third baseman. I know your positions change every week, but you're missing main guys. How do you guys go into this game?
Okay, so first of all, we needed a replacement player. We only had 8. So we picked up Isaac Gamal. Albert Gamal's younger brother. Great job that he did for us. Played adequately, batted 8th, played 3rd, made a few plays.
And he hits?
And he hits.
Eddie Michel told me he got a big hit. That's the reason he lost.
Okay, 9-0. That's the reason why.
That's what he told me. That's what Eddie told me.
9-1 home.
Hey, he said this Isaac guy was amazing.
By the way, walk-off 9-run homer.
Yeah, I don't think he had an RBI, and I think he was 1 for 6.
There was a walk-off.
And he committed that double play with the bases loaded, by the way, in the game.
That was him.
He ran into the player.
Very slow.
Before we see how he hit a walk-off 9-run homer, there was a walk-off hit this week in a 15-0 game. We will get there. Chucky, continue, please.
So our intent, of course, was to keep the pedal to the metal, try to keep winning. Jackie Buwabe on the bump didn't dissuade that mindset. At the forefront of this team is the flexibility of the positions. We have so many players that can play so many positions. Buwabe can pitch, he can play short center, he can play second. Jackie Haber can play short center, he can play second. Jack Abady this year alone has played 3rd.
Amazing.
Shortstop, short center, and center field.
Just amazing.
So we just plugged the guys in. We had Stephen Batesh at 1st, Jackie Haber at 2nd, Jack Abady at short, Isaac Gamal at 3rd. We had our regular outfield, Buwabe pitching. Kudos have to go to Buwabe, number 1 in the first game. Throws a gem, shutout, our 3rd in a row.
Amazing that he throws a shutout against a team that's fighting for their life.
Desperate.
You guys are fighting.
And no short center fielder. I mean,
wow,
they
9 guys.
9 guys.
And you guys are just playing just to stay hot, just to feel good about yourselves. I mean, you're in the playoffs either way.
Right.
And you guys shut them out.
And we shut them out.
With a backup pitcher.
Big kudos again. I know you hear Maurice, but I'm going to go on the air with Jackie Haber, who's been just getting better and better. He came back from a serious wrist injury in the offseason.
Absolutely.
He's now batting in the 2-hole. He's been batting in the 2-hole.
Big upgrade for him.
Turned, he's left-handed playing second base. He turns double plays. Got a big bases clearing triple to put
Wow.
that game out of reach. Where I think it was 3-0 at the time, made it 6-0 at the time. It was not Isaac Gamal that made that shot. It was Jackie Haber. We continued to get big hits from Jack Abady in the first inning, 2-run triple that resulted in a 3-0 lead. We kind of quieted them down right from the get start. John Eliezer, Eddie Michon, the Zolta kid in left, who shut him out.
What's your take on the Cardinals?
I'm surprised that they have such a poor record against the better teams. I mean, they are 2-8 against the elite teams.
Right.
And one of those 2 wins was the last game of the season when we were already coasting.
Right.
But it's hard to see with Eddie Michon at third and Eliezer at
They have a great
Erwin
team.
Cohen
I just
at
don't know who
center.
would pick them. No, really, I'm just seriously.
Yeah.
By the way, the
the-
other win, I don't know, is my
Was
team
your
considered
team?
elite? It was week
Elite,
1 then.
11-7.
Okay.
Oh,
First
you
game
lost
we
to them.
could
So
see
we
them.
lost to them in week 1, game 1.
Right.
So in the middle of the whole long season, they didn't
Right.
beat a playoff team.
No, they've been
basically.
swept by
So
the Rockies. They've been swept by the Astros. They've been swept by Helter Skelter.
Skelter, yeah.
The top
But
three
But to
teams
their
are 6-0
credit, I went
against them.
back and I looked at the game changer, and they lost a lot of one-run games. A lot of one-run games that didn't go their way, where the Astros won those games.
right.
So it could have went either way for them.
Okay, and that's the beauty of the league.
Yeah, that's
I
a
mean,
great
you
league
know,
we have.
it's,
It's a great league.
Talking to Jackie Ashkenazi at the engagement party, like, every team that's in the playoffs is dangerous.
Anybody could win.
This guy's
Anybody
got,
could beat
this
anybody.
guy pitching, this guy's got this.
Even
He's the
Norman's team
winner.
could win.
Even my team.
Even Norman's team could win.
History tends to repeat
But I
itself.
wanted to
so-
ask you a question. Before you were getting a replacement, you were looking to get an old pitcher. Can you tell us that story?
Okay,
Because I
we
think
were
Norman
looking-
would love to
we
know
were looking
that.
to pick up Moses.
Okay.
I love it.
We were
How
looking to pick up
Moses cannot be picked up. Moses has been drafted onto a team not as a 13th guy, as a 12th guy.
We had heard on this show that he had played for multiple teams. That
Yes.
You faced him one team, and the next thing you knew, you were facing him with another team.
Yes, ridiculous.
So maybe incorrectly, I assumed anybody could pick up Moses.
So I'd like to tell you, I got a call on Friday. Going to the beach, I get a call from Chucky. Picked up Chucky, how you doing? He goes, I'd like to know if we could get Moses. I said, what did the league say? He says, you can have him. I said, let me call Moses, get back to you. I said, should I give him Moses? Well,
Right.
no, should I help them? My son's on the team. I had to think about, my wife's in the car. She goes, you give them Moses. You give them Moses and you be the right guy. So I call up Moses and I say, Moses, I think you should pitch because I don't know if you're going to pitch with us. And he looked at me and he says, I don't want to pitch. I love your team. I want to sit on the bench and I want to be there. And then I said, you call Chucky and tell him.
No, so Moses and I go way back.
Yeah.
We go like to get the Mitzrayim.
The Oud.
You know,
the Oud.
back to
You
Yitzhak.
played
He's Moses.
Yeah,
he is Moses.
actually Moses.
Okay, so
I believe you caught him when he was in the rotation with 3 fingers, Mordecai Brown.
Mordecai Brown and Moses, the Jew boys, as they were known. So it really wasn't to benefit us in the sense that we were already clinched and were in the playoffs. But we wanted to be fair to try to beat the Cardinals as best we
Absolutely,
could.
right, for the
we
other
thought
teams.
Jackie Buwabe would be, a position
the
player
right move.
first and foremost. And Moses, if he's not going to pitch,
It was a win-win for
it was a
everybody.
win-win for
but
everyone.
He decided
But
not to.
he has an allegiance to the team. He loves your team. He loves
Yes.
you as a captain. And
Yes. So,
we then went
love
another
you,
route.
Moses.
I don't know if I want to get into it, but we were actually entertaining Louis Dweck.
Oh, which
come
ended
into
up
the league.
playing against the Astros.
And much to my
organization.
surprise, right after I made that suggestion to his dad,
They picked him
he
up.
called me back and they picked him up.
Right,
I don't
right.
know.
Very interesting.
But in the
I
first
didn't know
phone
that.
call, there was no indication that they even needed a player or were picking
Right,
him up.
right.
So we then went with Isaac Gamal and everything
for
worked
you.
out for
Worked
everybody.
out
Now,
great.
It
are
was a good
you?
situation.
What is the rule? If you had, what do you have? 8 guys, so you needed to pick someone up.
Right. And at that point, if you need a 9th player, it's not a replacement, it's not a slotted. It just needs to get the approval of 2 of the 3 committee members.
Okay.
That being Barbie, Douglas, and
Chucky.
Nathan.
Nathan,
Or
got
Nathan.
it,
So 2 of those 3.
Okay, fine. So you got him approved. He played for
We
you.
got him
He
approved.
chipped
He played
in.
for us. I think he was a fair replacement. I don't think he dominated anything.
Fine. Non-story. Bottom line
Non-story.
is 9-0. You beat them game 1. They must have been in panic mode in between the games. They got shut out and they're fighting for their life over here.
Right.
So now what?
So we kind of come off the field game 1 and we're ready to let's kill him game 2. Don't give him a chance. We kind of have to tone that down a little bit.
Did you celebrate after game 1 win? Did you a
we
little
were
celebration?
workmanlike. Some of the
Okay.
guys, the young guys,
You had
of
a lot
course,
of
are
work to
really
do.
hyped up. 3 shutouts in a row, and we're on
Phenomenal.
a 5-game winning streak and whatnot.
Great.
But and out of respect to Eddie Michon and their
You didn't
plight,
celebrate.
I don't want to,
Out of respect of their
Very
plight.
nice.
By the way, let's remind everyone we are live right now. You can call in at 732-5YMSL55.
Got it.
Excuse the number. I didn't make the phone number. This is what they told me to read. 5YMSL55 is the telephone number, 732 area code.
Right.
Continue.
Okay, so just a brief game 2. The game is a 1-1 game. It's about the 3rd inning. and there's a play that comes up, I could use your expertise on the call.
Yes.
Maybe Douglas could chime in
Sure.
when he gets on
Sure.
on live. But we have the bases loaded, and we have Joe Chira up.
Any outs?
Nobody out.
Nobody out.
Top of the third, I believe. Nobody out. 1-1
Game
game.
two.
Joe Chira out. Game 2. It's a chance to break it open.
Right.
Joe Chira gets a base hit. We're going first to third. 2-1
100%,
score.
right.
And we got Jackie Haber and Jack Abady coming up.
Right.
Joe, it's got to hit the ball to the outfield as far as I'm concerned. He's got to find some grass. He's got to get at least a sac fly. He hits a rocket to short.
Okay.
Eliezer is at short. He feels the ball kind of in the baseline. And Isaac Gamal, not knowing who has the right of way or whatnot, bumps him.
Okay.
Wow.
Where John Eliezer proceeds, I don't know if there was a tag on that play or not, he throws home for the force at home.
Okay. What did they call?
Okay, so they call a double play. They call interference on the runner,
Absolutely.
and the guy's out at home. However,
Uh-oh.
I don't know the difference between interference and obstruction, but if he's tagging that runner, there's no longer a force at home.
True.
And
He
if
didn't
he's
tag him
going
at all?
home, if he's going home with the
right.
ball
Okay.
primarily,
I see what you're saying.
how can you anticipate a double play? The intent of the fielder was to field the ball and go home with the force. So my interpretation was it should have been bases loaded, 1 out, in lieu of the first and second 2 outs.
Right.
Jackie skied out.
And
They
that was
dodged the bullet. They came back in the bottom half of the inning, put up a 3-spot, and coasted from there.
Okay, first of all, the runner has to let the fielder field the
Absolutely.
ball.
Absolutely.
Every week we go through
Absolutely.
this. So
Absolutely.
I would think that it's obstruction.
Okay?
The runner is out.
Right. And
Now-
the play's dead at
And
that
the play
point.
is dead. I don't think
But
it's a
I don't
double
agree
play.
with that. Why
I
should
think it's
that
1 out.
person get an advantage because the runner making a mistake? Had he not hit the John Eliezer, would John Eliezer tag them and threw it home?
But then it was.
Could there have been a
then
play?
it's tag
Can you
play.
anticipate
I
that
don't
play?
think it was a tag play at the plate.
Well, it's a judgment call by the umpire.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Well,
I think
who was your umpire, Jim?
John.
John. Okay, I
And
don't
Eddie
know John.
Michon, who's very astute,
Very astute.
without microphones present after the play,
Okay.
tells me that was the wrong call. The obstruction should have killed the play,
I think so.
and the runners returned to the bases, and there's 1
I'd have
out.
to go with Eddie Michon on that.
I think for
And he
sure.
knows the
Changed
rules.
my
If
mind.
anything, if Eddie knows anything,
knows the
he knows
rules.
rules. I don't know if they're softball rules.
He knows
ASA
rules.
but
He's
he
a
knows
rules guy. He's a rules
guy. So I'd have to go with that. And my gut feeling was you can't anticipate that he would have gone home, got the force, and what are they going to do? Then throw to first and get Joe Chira out?
So that call got him in. Got him
That
in,
call is a
basically.
huge development. Because
Yeah,
they're talking bases
huge.
loaded, nobody
Huge.
out.
Or now bases loaded,
Big
1 out,
momentum
and now
shift.
first and second with 2
Big
outs.
momentum shift.
Jackie Haber's shot would have at least got a sac fly.
Right.
And Jackie Abady would have been up with
2
still
outs. He's a
two
great
outs
2-out
and,
hitter.
and,
Great 2-out hitter.
and they've been walking him all day besides.
So you guys proceeded to win that game 5. No,
We
you guys
lost
lost
that
that
game
game
5.
5-1.
5-1. And Max pitched a nice game that game.
Okay, fine. So Max with his back against the wall managed to pitch a decent game.
Right.
And they improved to a record of 8-10.
Right.
All eyes on the other field. Brooklyn Dodgers. That's Marty Jamal. That is pitcher Stevie Azer. That is Ali Marshall, Jimmy Malach.
Wow.
Brooklyn Dodgers versus the Hebrew Nationals. Brooklyn entered this game 6-10.
Wow.
They had a chance to get into the playoffs only with a sweep.
Right.
But if they did sweep, they knew that they were in, no matter what happened with the Cardinals. Either they were in via tiebreak, or they were in via just because the Cardinals would have
Right.
gotten swept, they would have gotten in normally.
Right. They
Now-
had the tiebreakers. They were 6-0 against those
Exactly.
questionable teams.
The Cardinals were 6-0, not the Dodgers. The Cardinals were 6-0.
Oh, the Cardinals were
Right.
6-0.
The Dodgers had to win 2 and get some help, which broke their
No.
way.
I don't think they needed help.
You mean 2 and they're in? No,
I-
they could have played a tiebreaker. They could have played a tiebreaker game had the Cardinals swept them with them.
If the Cardinals swept them,
Untouchables would have had to probably.
no, listen to this.
Tell me.
Cardinals sweep them.
Okay.
That means the Cardinals go to 9 wins.
And what wins does Chucky have?
We go to 8-10.
Right.
Oh, with them.
Yes. So it would have been a
Oh, I didn't
four-way.
think of
But,
that.
Yeah.
but Hebrew Nationals also would have been in that
Right,
tie.
and I don't know what happened, but I think it would have been a Dodgers, untouchable, Abraham
Okay,
Haber,
that's
Jackie
possible.
Haber. So they needed things to break
Okay,
their
fine.
way.
Bottom
Both were
line
there.
is, according to both teams, Brooklyn showed up prepared to
Wow,
sweep.
did they show up?
They were ready to go. They switched their whole lineup. Elliot Mann, who's having a very fine year in the leadoff spot, stayed there.
Okay.
I want to know what you guys think of this. They flip-flopped Jimmy and Allie. They put Jimmy in the 2-hole.
Oh, so Abraham wasn't in the 2-hole.
No.
Okay, got
and
it.
they put Allie in the 3-hole. Usually Jimmy protects
Love it.
Allie. Now Allie protects Jimmy. It resulted
So I'll go with,
I love
in
it.
defense of that move, you're putting a lot of pressure on Jimmy. Every time they walk alley, that Jimmy now has to come through in the protection mode.
The other way.
The other way around now, we've got Jimmy batting first.
Second.
He's got but before alley.
Right.
So he's going to see good pitches because they know Alley's
absolutely.
on deck. And he doesn't have the pressure yet of Alley being on base and Alley looking at him from first base. Jimmy, you got to come through. They're walking me every minute. And I think that's.
And you
that's
know
a
what
line
they
to be
say, you
reckoned with.
always put your best hitters up so they get more ABs.
Okay, now the obvious question.
No, but in this case, he's flipping Alley down a slot and moving Malak up a slot. He went Alley
Are
2.
you saying he was batting 4-2?
No, 2 and 3. They
2
were
and
2 and
3.
3.
Who was 2?
Jimmy was 2.
Jimmy's
Alley
2.
was 3.
So-
Okay.
But my best hitter is really Alley. You want to get Alley more at bats. I like Alley protecting Jimmy, so the pressure
I
is a little
agree.
bit off of
I
Jimmy.
agree.
But then who is protecting your best hitter? Alley.
So who was batting in the 4 hole?
Well, I don't know. Who do you think? It was Jacob Wasser.
Wow, and I heard he had a very good day.
Alley got walked intentionally 4 times in the doubleheader. Jacob Wasser got a hit 4 times after the intentional walk. I think he went something like 6 for 7 on the day, or 7 for 8, some crazy day that he had. Full protection for Alley, who was protecting Jimmy.
Right.
And all of a sudden, their lineup got a little bit longer. They moved Elliot Batesh down in the lineup.
Right.
He's not hitting so well for them.
So I heard a couple of good things, not to interrupt you, but
Sure.
go back to last week's show. I predicted that Abraham would be swept with
Yes.
Steve Azer. That, and Norman, you predicted, not a good result, you predicted they're going to hang in for the first game, but their season's going to end. Those 2 comments riled them up so much that they had a team meeting. Elliot Patesh came to the field, the veteran Elliot Patesh, and basically said, guys, this is our season, we can do it. They said that was a speech from Hoosiers where they got so into it that they came out smacking. Ali Marshall told me he wanted to win so badly. Steve Azer, after the game was over, game 2, with about 10 minutes left in the game, I got a text message from Steve Azer saying, Norman and Maurice, please shut your mouth because I never miss the playoffs and your predictions are wrong. So I am glad that Norman and I motivated because my son is in the playoffs. So I'm very happy about that.
Let's see how happy you are if you end up facing your son and he knocks you out of the playoffs. You have this son or that son or whatever it is.
He's playing with his son, I'm not. All right.
No,
Just
but
an
he has
FYI.
one of your sons on his team.
Yes,
that
he
can knock you off
does.
also.
That's true.
Okay.
I think the point you brought up is that you need one of these players that's not a marquee player,
Exactly.
so to speak,
Always.
to step up and do something spectacular. And this Wasser, he was the man. I mean, I'm going to walk Alley 6 times, in the playoffs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So you need somebody that's not, that you're not game planning for to have that big day, and that just changes. You're giving free passes, you're adding, runners on the base. You get burnt with that sometimes, and that's what
So
happens.
did you hear about not to say anything about Abraham, but he hit a bomb of a home run, a bomb in center field that turned that game around, and he hit a further shot. I don't know if you know Fireman's East Field, where it has the bushes that hang out, and it says if you touch the bushes, it's a double. He hit a shot that was fair and then curved to the left. Everybody came to me and said basically it was one of the furthest shots they've seen in a long time. So I give you kudos, Abe.
So Abraham is red hot. The Dodgers are feeling damn good about themselves.
And they're playing
Entering
with
the
house
week
money.
At 6-10, and now they're in the postseason.
Absolutely.
And from what I'm hearing, every team is afraid to pick them. Who wants to face Azer, Saka, Ali,
Well,
Jimmy?
let's talk
Yes.
about that a
Yeah.
second. Who is now? Is there one pitcher that's dedicated now for the playoffs, or are they still Saka, Azer? Can Saka pitch game 1 and bring Azer in for game 2?
Absolutely not. They were talking about that. That is an edge for them, and I don't think that was the rule.
Now,
it's got to be 1 week.
Can it be 1 week, 1 week?
There were weeks that were specified from before the season how many weeks Saka and Asia were allowed to pitch.
And the playoffs.
But now in the playoffs.
From what I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Saka has to pitch for the playoffs. Asia had a
Absolutely.
specified amount of weeks.
Yes.
Asia had only 3 weeks he was allowed to pitch,
Right.
something like that.
So it's
So
Jeffrey
you're picking
Saka
now
in the
Jeffrey
playoffs.
Saka in the playoffs.
Yes.
Which is no small task.
But Azer got them there. Azer got them there. So at the end of the day, Saka has a lot of pressure on him. Because if he loses, Azer got him there. And if he wins...
Slow down.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, everybody slow down.
I'm crazy here.
Slow down, because before we get to the playoffs, we got to say how we got there. Okay? All right. Now, Hebrew Nationals now came into this week, they lost 3 in a row.
Correct.
Some say the Daniel Tower walk-off hit turned their season. the way he turned the Indian season. If you guys remember Victor Cruz
Absolutely.
against the Jets, it turned 2 seasons around in
Saturday
one
game.
play.
I remember
turned
that.
the Giants around and turned the Jets around.
Wrong opposite.
Since Daniel Towell's walk-off hit, the Indians have not lost a game. 5 games in a row to end the season. 8 out of 10. Red-hot team.
On fire.
Since that walk-off hit, the Hebrew Nationals, by the end of this day, have lost 6 games in a row, one of the biggest collapses in the history of the league.
Yeah.
This team was flying by, and they're suddenly not in the playoffs.
What's up with the Mets when they had that? What was that?
Forget the Mets.
Yeah, let's move on to the
Exactly.
I like to forget the Mets. Yeah.
Okay. Now, midway into Game 2, Brooklyn is up on Hebrew Nationals by the score of 10-2.
Wow.
Game 2, and they won already game 1.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's clear that Brooklyn is about to
What was
sweep.
the score in game 1, by the way?
5-2 Brooklyn.
5-2,
Game
10-2.
1, right.
Exactly.
Not even contest.
Hebrew didn't really bring their bats.
Wow.
Okay.
They don't have such good bats, but all right.
Abby Saka on the hill. Everyone knows there's a playing game this Sunday, right after this, if necessary.
Yeah, we got an email.
Every
on Friday.
captain got the email
Got
a
it, I
long
got it.
time ago.
Yep.
Abby Saka gets a win in the 5th or 6th inning that, if we lose this game, the Cardinals are winning big, blah, 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 blah. There's a playing game on Fireman's West right after this game.
Yep.
Abby Saka apparently was not told this little bit of information.
Yep.
He had a
Birthday
personal
party.
family birthday party, his son's birthday party.
Yep.
Prior
Understandable.
reports that it was his daughter's party are incorrect. It was his son's birthday
Marvin.
party.
Little
Okay,
Marvin.
little Marvin.
Happy
And
birthday.
Abby Saka did not know the playing game, and he...
I'll just interject. My understanding was that he thought that even if he got swept, he was under the impression that he was in.
Yes.
Chucky,
So
all
he
right.
may have
Reports are
known
right.
playoff game, not playoff game. He thought it didn't apply to him. He thought that even if I lose 2, I'm in.
There's just a little miscommunication on that.
Right,
That's
but
all
that
it
was his
That
own
was his
captain
thought.
who told him that.
Yeah,
A little miscommunication.
From what I understand,
Misinformation.
Misinformation.
He heard what he heard, and
Yes.
he heard it, but he was misinformed.
Yes.
And that was not. He didn't know
Right.
that there was a possibility
Absolutely.
if they get swept
Yes.
that he'd have to comply with that ruling.
Correct.
bottom line is the
Fair.
game was scheduled, fans were there, and Abby Saka was not interested in pitching this playing game. He completely lost his cool. From what I understand, there was a complete meltdown, and him, his captain, it
Wasn't a
ended up
great
blowing up in
situation.
complete mayhem.
Okay, but I'd like to say that we've sent investigative reporters to the scene.
Right.
We're on top of the story, but it's still a developing story.
Right.
So I think at this point, as a creditable news station, we
Right.
need to reserve.
We only
judgment
have to
for
give
what's
the
happening.
facts here.
I would like to say, as part of the facts, I do give credit to an individual in the league who lets family or work, whatever it is, come first. I mean, the league is the league, but
Right.
you've got a birthday party that you're committed to.
And you have to do
We
it.
had back in the playoff time, one of our players on the opposing team had a commitment to it was a terrible situation. There was like a Tehillim reading
Right.
for someone who had passed away. It was his brother's, his friend's sister. He left the 5th game of the World Series. You got to have your priorities straight.
Right.
So AB leaving, I give him credit for that. What transpired after that,
We don't know.
We don't know. And
Okay,
we're not
fine.
going to comment on it. We're not going to comment on it, Norm.
All right, but
We're not going to comment on it, Norm.
we're not going to comment on it. I got you.
Okay.
But the
We
facts
want
are
to.
the facts.
We don't know the facts. The facts will become unveiled in due time. At this point, they lost 5-2, 10-2. They played a playoff game. Now, who pitched in that playoff game?
I believe Nemi Katz pitched for Abby Saka in that playoff game.
So Nemi Katz is a creditable source, and then they went down 7-4.
But they were up 3-2 in the 6th inning. I happened to watch that game.
3-2 in the 6th.
And it was a 3-2 game, and Nemi had pitched 3 games. He pitched 3 games. God bless the guy. He got tired. And they
he pitched
scored
3 games on the season, you're saying?
No, in that day.
No, he
No,
didn't.
he pitched the first 2 games.
Well, he played.
You're going crazy that Nathan pitched. Now you're saying Nemi pitched?
I'm sorry. He played 3 games. Retract that.
He played three games.
3 games. He was tired. Hazib.
Okay, but that's, everybody's tied on the other team too.
Anyway,
Getting back to the story.
we don't want to harp on it. We don't know all the details. We understand that. But everyone does know that there was discipline handed down. I'm not saying it's
What-
final, it's not final. I'm not in the committee. I don't know what's going on. But everyone knows that 2 guys were suspended for the year. We have one of them on the phone right
I think
now.
we do have a call
Yes.
coming
We
in
have
right now.
Abby Saka on the line. By the way, I never
How do you do this?
Touch it.
just touch it.
AB, you with us?
A.B. Saka, you're on the air.
Abby,
Okay.
speak up very loud because the phone connection is bad. Turn your radio down as well, please.
I turned it down, we're good to go.
Okay, Abby, first of all, I'll give you the floor. Talk loud and just Tell us, walk us through basically what your reaction is. The word is that you're suspended for the 2015 season. It's a long suspension, and the word is that you had a very, big meltdown after the game.
Just tell us the purpose of the call, Abe. Whatever you call
Without
it
all
for.
the details.
Just tell us what the purpose of this call is.
Albert there. First of all, I want to apologize now that I see him. Albert, I'm sorry for my actions. I'm sorry I cursed you out. It definitely was wrong. Not a question. The thing I would say, I think Chucky hit it right. I was misinformed that, when I saw the email on Friday about the third playoff game, I knew that I had prior plans. I reached out to the correct people that I thought I was reaching out to, and I was told, don't worry, there's no possibility of us playing a third game. Okay, so now, in about the fourth inning, when we were already getting clobbered, I think 7-0, I told Abby, I said, Abby, listen, I can't play that game. Find out if we can move the game. Albert was out on field. Eddie Michon's out on field. See what we can do. I knew there was a slim chance of it. I had a lot of pressure. I didn't want to let my team down. And the bottom line, at the end of the day, I reacted on emotion. I let get the better of me. And long story short, I had one of my blow-ups. That's probably the best way I can describe it. I was completely wrong. Once I opened my mouth and started yelling, there's no turning back, and I was wrong. I knew I was wrong. I got in my car after that, and I left the field.
Okay, Abe, I think that's, look, I got to give you credit for both the phone call today, for making the family come first. I think it's a lesson for the league, though, in general, to know that, there's a time and a place for everything. You let your emotions get the better. I'm not exempt from that. So I'm sure it's happened to me over the course of time. It's part of the growing up process. I'm sure Albert welcomes the apology. I'm sure the league will, do its consideration as far as, what that means for next year and beyond. You've always been an asset to the league. You're a great player. I know you're not apologizing for reconsideration, and I respect you for it, Abe.
Abby, I want to tell you, you're a stand-up guy. It's Maurice Haber here. How you doing? You're a stand-up guy for making that call.
Very dapper today, I must say.
Looking dapper.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate
look
that.
like what?
Yeah, I don't know what you look like.
I'm-
So I want to tell you, you're a stand-up guy. I know you for a long time. You're a tremendous competitor, and things happen, and I'm sure your apology will go a long way, and I wish you only the best of luck next year.
Okay, Abe, thanks for the call in.
Abe, one more thing. Forgetting all this, your team did lose the final 6 games of the season. You're a force yourself. I've seen you take teams that were not that talented all the way to the World Series. What happened to your team that you lost 6 in a row? I know you didn't pitch the last game, but along the way you took a few sweeps towards the end when you only needed 1 win.
So the week prior, lastly, I'll go back to 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. Norman, we played your team. We won the first game. The second game was tie into extra innings, and I had a flight going to China. I had to leave. I pitched as long as I could, and I left, and we lost that game in extra innings.
Right.
The next week, we played Chucky's team, and we played with 9 guys, and it seemed like that week, for whatever reason, the life just got sucked out of our team. Going into the year, we were always the rah-rah team, and quite frankly, yesterday, the Brooklyn Dodgers, Abady himself out-rah-rah'd my whole team.
That's what I heard.
Abady Saroy.
Gotta watch out for that guy.
They came out on fire, and, they came out hitting. At the end of the day, it's so important, no matter how good of a pitcher you want to be, guys are going to hit the ball, and we just had a lot of mental mistakes within the game.
Abby, tell me about one of your shortstop who is a big rah-rah guy, Abady. I heard in the beginning of the year he was doing all that Kardashian stuff. Where did he go? What happened
What
to
does
him?
that mean, Kardashian?
What's it, Chloe? Or he was saying something. Courtney the whole year. What is that, Courtney, Abby? And he was singing and doing, but what happened to him at the end?
Basically, so it's a league rule, you're not allowed to call the pitcher by the pitcher's name, so every week we rename the pitcher's name for him. And listen, Maurice carried us in the beginning of the year. He's a phenomenal player. I think he proved a lot of the scouts wrong that came in that said that he's not a shortstop, he can't play short. He proved that he can play short in this league. I think he just got in his own head when he made a couple of mistakes, and he just beat himself up over it. At the end of the day, he's a guy I
All right.
As far as the other, my year ban, I don't know if it's because I lost 17 clincher balls into the woods that counts to a year's.
That's part of it.
That's a major part of the reason.
At $10 a ball, you do the math, baby.
It's finances.
I don't know. I tried to lose a couple more to get up to the number. Maybe I was trying to get a 2-year ban. The truth is, listen, I've been in contact with A-Rod. He's giving me some legal advice. He also offers to help me out in the gym, kind of improve my swing. I don't know what his secret is yet, but he said he's going to help me out along the way. I also reached out to Pete Rose. He said, listen, at least you're not a lifetime ban. It's only a year, don't worry. It's a year ban. I mean, look, Bobby's going to do what he needs to do. At the end of the day, I have no feeling against anybody.
That's great.
And I'll take whatever punishment is deemed upon me. I definitely did reach out and act out a little bit, and I guess I got to take the punishment for the crime.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, Abe.
Thank you, Abe.
Stand-up guy once again.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for the call.
Take care. Have a good one.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Well,
Wow.
there you have it. That was
Wow.
some incredible information.
Before he went off on the A-Rod tangent and tried to, just make a little bit light of it, because I'm sure
Which is
he's
understandable.
that he's a little bit taken aback by what transpired. But
A lot of guts. to
the
make
facts
that
were the
call.
facts.
A lot of guts.
He admitted to his mistakes. You let your emotions get the best of you. There's a life lesson for the players in the league.
Right.
It happens too often in the league.
Right.
And I think, calling the pitcher Courtney and doing all this kind of stuff, it's part of the BS that goes on week to week. I'm not going to be a NFL, no fun league. But I think, there's a fine line between abusing the opposition, abusing the umpires, abusing the commissioners, abusing the scorekeepers. And players have to keep everything in perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, your actions, apologies are great. But,
You have to
better
control
not to
yourself.
apologize and better to just carry yourself. I always say, picture like my father, Lava Shalom was at the game, what would I be doing with that?
Right.
And if you can take that message and behave yourself accordingly, I think we'll have a lot less of this in the future, and we really need to nip it in the bud.
True, but I've been in the league a while. I've seen a lot of outbursts. I lost control, and I saw both of you lose control in the same game just last year. And I didn't see any lifetime ban. I didn't see any one-game ban. And you guys both went crazy on umpires and everything. I'm just saying.
You talking about me?
I'm talking about all of you.
Did Chucky ever lose
That
it?
all-in team. That all-in team was a complete and utter disgrace. It was a complete meltdown by you guys.
So,
I'm just saying this. Let me get to my point.
Sure.
My point is, it seems to me that Bobby is trying to clean up the league and eradicate all of this extra nonsense that goes on.
Okay.
I don't know if this particular situation was worse than anything else we've seen in the past, including a guy ejecting an umpire. I think that's a little crazy.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of crazy things. It just seems that the timing and the situation, just he had enough, and maybe this is turning the page.
okay.
You have a point. I don't want to compare. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I've had a lot of outbursts with umpires. I can't speak for Chucky. I can speak to about myself. And I honestly don't know if I crossed the line. I really don't know. I know what the line is, and I don't think I crossed the line.
Okay.
But that's for other people to decide, not me.
Fine.
Look, I think you always run into a problem when you add that word "but" into it. In other words, at some point you have to, draw the line in the sand, not like Obama where you keep moving the line.
Okay.
At some point you draw the line. Guy gets ejected, he's suspended for the next game. A guy abuses the commissioners, the umpires, he's
The
apologetic on
scorekeepers,
his
yeah.
own accord. He is not happy with the way he acted. I think, you have to
He
take under consideration the apology.
Right.
Albert is not looking to hurt anybody, neither is Bobby.
Right.
But the league has to come first.
He's
And I
fine.
Think,
He's accepting it.
okay,
He's
so
fine.
I think
He's
at this
okay.
point with the show, as we mentioned earlier, until the fact-finding commissioners come
Got
back
it.
with more details, you got to take it.
We'll
Our
move
job
on.
is not to impose the news; it's simply to report the news.
We
The news has been
report it.
And we
reported,
just reported it.
and we reported it.
So
So I
we'll
think we
move
need
on.
to move on.
Okay. Bottom line is they had a play-in game without Saka. They had Nemi Katz filling in.
So
for
it's 3-2
Saka.
in the sixth. I want to pick it up from 3-2 in the sixth.
Why don't you take us through what happened?
3-2 in the sixth. If my memory serves correct,
By the way, a lot of guys on your team,
Yeah,
you're
not going with that
suffering.
memory.
I made a mistake
They
last
think
week. I
you're
want to
suffering from
apologize.
dementia
Yes.
because you created a whole new game that was actually happening.
But you knew about it. You could have corrected
I
me.
knew,
You did not
but I
correct
said
me.
I must be wrong.
All right, I'm going to let you take it. I'm going to Game Changer, and then I'll get back to you on
Okay,
that.
bottom line is that they didn't have their pitcher on the mound for all the obvious reasons. They had Nemi pitching, he was
Kill
tired.
Okay, so the
And-
Cardinals are up in the bottom of the sixth. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
And they're down 3-2, 6 outs away from elimination.
Does the Game Changer have the playing
It
game?
does
or
not have the playing
I
game.
can't help you. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I cannot
fine.
help you.
Fine.
I was just suspecting.
But I'd like to know what happens if anybody can recall who got the big hits for the Cardinals.
I know Ralph Matute got a big hit. I know John Eliezer got a big hit.
Isaac
I know
Wright.
Sam Lowden got a big hit.
Isaac
I
Wright
know
got a
Sam
big hit.
Shrem scored the winning run. That I know is a fact.
I know
but
Isaac
I can't
Mino,
tell you.
Isaac Mino got a, I think. a
Isaac
fine hit.
Mino, Dweck,
Yeah.
I was there. Bullet of a hit to put them up by 2 runs.
By the way, about the Cardinals, who I think are going to be a big topic before
Major
the end of this
topic.
show,
Yeah.
they can hit. That team can hit.
Of course they can.
I think their biggest weakness possibly might be their defense, but I know that team can hit. They have a long lineup. They have all these guys that maybe none of us know that well, but they somehow put up runs. So
Norman, I'll go back to what I said earlier with the Eshko quote. The league is deep.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take the 7 seed, you could play the 3 seed, the 2 seed, the 5 seed. I don't know.
Pick your
I'm afraid
poison.
of them.
Pick your poison.
You know, you got your 1, you got your 2, you got your 3, whatever that. Come on, whatever.
right. You need a 1,
You need a
two
1,
twos,
you
you
need
need
a
4 threes, right?
Exactly. But, they're a league. The 8 hitter, the 9 hitter, you got guys like Jackie Buabe batting 7 in my lineup, 8 in my lineup, Adam Marshall. I mean, I wouldn't pick. I don't know who you're going to pick. Who you're going to pick.
You're going to soon
But,
find out.
pick your poison, so to speak, because they're all tough.
Right.
Okay. So now, let's put a bow on this whole situation here.
Yes.
A.B. Sack, a complete collapse, lost their last 6 in a row, although he didn't pitch the first one or the 6th one.
Okay.
But
Or
he
the,
did pitch
the
the 4
extra
in
innings.
between.
He pitched the 1, but not the extra innings.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
So we know who's in the playoffs, but now you got to go to another story.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Because there was a possibility that the Houston Astros
Or
Helter Skelter
can get a bye.
could have gotten a bye. All
Which
they
is
needed was the first place Colorado Rockies to split, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the Astros would need to sweep.
What if Helter swept? Could they get it with just a split?
If Helter swept and they could not get it with a split
Okay,
because
fine.
they got
No.
swept.
They could have got it if the Rockies got swept.
We were tied with the Rockies going in. We needed to win one more game than them.
Right.
Okay, fine.
So-
Fair
Right.
enough.
So you needed to sweep if they split.
But you
needed
got
to
swept
split.
in the regular season,
Yes.
so
Right.
it wouldn't have mattered. So
No, but it needed to be
we-
one game
we went
better than
into
them.
the- we went
if they
into the
split
tie.
and
You needed to sweep.
you
They
needed to sweep.
Right.
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 And if they
Okay, fine,
lost
no
2,
problem.
they needed to split.
Bottom
That's
line is, before we get to the Rockies, because
right.
that's scoreboard watching.
We know that.
Let's take care of your game.
Let's
Let's
take care
hear
of my
your
game.
details. I'm sure it'll be nothing like what actually happened at the
Absolutely
field.
not. I'm gonna-
but let's try to get
I'm
there.
going to try to there. So game 1, we get there. They have 8 guys.
So who you playing? You're playing Helter
So I'm
Skelter.
playing Helter
You're playing
Skelter. I'm
Helter
playing
Skelter.
Douglas. I'm playing Max Sutton. Henry Shalom was away. Elliot Sacco was away. Eli Harari is injured / away. I'm not sure. So they really have 8 guys. And they called, Max Sutton called again on Friday. Friday was a busy day for me. And basically said, I want to pick up an extra guy, Meyer Safdie's 13-year-old son. I said, ask the committee, ask the rules, whatever they say, I'll say okay. Douglas comes in, he brings his son, no problem. The rules are you can't play with 8, you got to play with 9, you don't want to have an automatic out. And truth is, Helter Skelter, Max Sutton wanted to come in, play softball, do the right thing for the league, not just forfeit the game.
Right.
So anyway, we came in.
Did he play with his 13-year-old son?
No, he did not.
Louis,
Louis Dweck, thanks to Chucky,
Yeah, you can't
played
play.
the game.
We got to have an age limit on this.
So the game basically, they had 9 guys. We just hit. Meyer claimed his pinky was hurt. He had a dream. He sliced it. I don't want to get into that. But bottom line is we hit and we hit and we hit. I don't want to get into that one. He'll call me. It's a problem. So bottom line is we hit. But I do want to go on the air right now. And I need to give a special kudos to 3 people on my team.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry.
God.
David Farker.
We love you, you're the
candidate.
best.
I'm not
Next,
loving
we
you.
love you, you're
I'm
the
not
best.
loving you.
Next, okay.
Triple crown. Chucky, please tell me the last person who won the Triple Crown in this league.
Did he really
Tell me.
win the Triple Crown?
He won the batting title, he won the RBI title, and if I'm not mistaken, he won the home run title.
Wow.
Chucky, please, with your 3-finger guy, Mordechai, and all that stuff, please tell me. So anyway, I'll move on. Mo Shama.
By the way, before Cabrera,
Okay.
The same guy that last won the Triple Crown was the same guy we spoke about last week. I believe was oh no, it was Yastrzemski.
Yastrzemski with the Red Sox.
Yastrzemski, sorry, I thought it was Ken
So I'll move on.
Onwards.
Let me,
with that?
let me
Onwards,
clean
yes.
up. Let me
Who's the
clean
only
up.
player to win it in both
All right,
leagues?
well, trivia's later.
Well,
Robinson,
and
Robinson,
Frank
yeah.
My,
That was
my
MVP,
real
not Triple
MVP,
Crown.
my real MVP is Maurice Haber. Maurice Haber, if you looked up his stats the last 4 years, guy's batting 350, 380 in the regular season. Great shortstop. Doesn't hit in the regular season. Mo Haber picks him, and he hits 500. Bottom line, played fabulous shortstop, which everybody knows. Really, my MVP.
Okay.
And the last guy is
Oh
Eshko
my
for
God.
getting us here, and I'll move on. Second game, not even a game, blew them out. We took care of business, but everybody was on Game Changer with a sad face. Because the bottom line is we were scoreboard watching, and we saw the Rockies were blowing away the team that came to play, supposedly. And
Boys of summer.
Boys of winter. Boys of winter right now.
Right, old men of winter.
And
Old
honestly,
man winter.
the real story is I spoke to Ike Mavora, I spoke to Nathan Towell. I love you, Nathan Towell. I think you're a great guy. I know you guys showed up. Jackie had it showed up, but it didn't show in the scoreboard. I know Sammy Towell came to me in the second game and he said, I don't understand. Ike Mavora even came in to pitch in the second or third inning, and I'm trying to win a game, and my brother's pitching Ike Mavora. But I heard Nathan pitched, and at the end of the day, we didn't do what we had to do, so we can't complain about anything.
Okay, so you're not complaining about anything, is what you're saying.
Sounds like he's complaining.
It sounds like you were building up to a complaint.
I was
You had an
building up
issue.
to a complaint, but at the end of the day, we had it in our hands. We didn't win, so I really can't complain.
But you won your games this week.
Absolutely.
You needed some help from the boys of summer on the other field.
And I didn't get it.
And you didn't get it.
And that's it.
Okay. That's
so,
it.
but this league, I have to. No, it's not.
Is that it?
I have to tell you something. I really, like Chucky said, I don't know the facts, so I really can't shoot my mouth.
Okay, all right. Let me say the facts.
Yeah, maybe
the
you
facts
should say it.
are as
Yeah.
follows. They have 14 pitchers on their team. They have Salim. They have Nemi. They have Moses as a renter pitcher, which is completely illegal and ridiculous. They have Ike Mavora, first-round pick, who, let's call spade a spade, he quit on his team by not pitching this year. All right? He couldn't hack it.
No.
let him continue. He's making a point.
He didn't quit on his team. He ran into serious difficulty with his control. He walked 35 batters in 40 innings.
Which control? Mental control or
Whatever the
physical
case
control?
might be, he was not performing, and
Okay.
he didn't quit.
Okay.
He
He didn't
deferred.
quit.
At that
Right.
point, he
He played the
deferred and
outfield.
saying, "I'll be a team player. I'm not going to just keep with the losses. We're
Okay.
on the verge of, maybe not competing. I'll take a position. Tell me if I want me to play first, center field, right field." And
Okay, all right,
Now
so move
going
on.
back,
Okay,
I
It's
just
not
want
even
to
the
continue.
point. Yeah.
But going
Because
back,
that's your nephew.
of course.
Okay.
Old, I
All
love
due
you,
respect,
Ike.
family. You love family.
He to pitch Mavola at the end of the season, perhaps if he can regain his confidence or regain his footing
For
as a
what?
pitcher.
For next year?
He owes the Rockies nothing. He owes
Okay.
the Astros nothing.
Yeah.
They're competing to win for next year. Even if is he going to continue to
Was
pitch?
Ike a happy
in Reno?
camper on that team? Because I don't
Obviously,
think he was.
Ike was disappointed with his performance, and he's not going to be happy if he's hitting 350 and not pitching.
All right.
He was the third or second player taken in the draft. He's not going to be happy. He's not happy
Listen,
because he's not.
I wanna
performing.
tell you what I
And
was
I'll go
told.
back. Nathan is a consummate competitor.
The best.
He's not throwing the games to
Nate-
Jackie
No.
or to his brother Sammy.
Okay.
That team was 5
So
and
why
11
did Nathan
going
pitch?
in.
Why
What
did
you-
Nathan pitch when they
why
had
did
12
What did
pitchers?
you think they were going to do at 5 and 11 against the Rockies?
Okay.
You thought they were going to pitch.
I thought it would be a game, not
Salim?
Chucky when we see 9-3
Why
in the first
not?
inning.
Why
Chucky
weren't they
9-0
pitch
in the
Salim?
first. Why
Wait,
did they pitch
if
Nathan
Salim
Howell
pitched
now?
the last 10 games, why was Salim not pitching? He's been there
I
pitching.
don't have the facts,
what you-
but I would be remiss to say that they threw the games or gave the games
No one
away.
said
Nobody
that.
throws any
No one
games.
throws
That's a
any
very bad
They're
implication.
showing up. They're not throwing. They're not
They're
giving
showing up. No.
Not any more than the Legion of Boom gave up.
Did the Legion of Boom show up?
Did the Legion of Boom show up?
The Legion of Boom did not show
Did they
up.
get mercy the second game?
They did.
Did they
Okay.
score any runs on the afternoon?
But Chucky did.
Nobody's
had
been
no-
scoring
Did
on
they
Mikey.
score? How many runs did they give up?
Chucky.
Was it 24?
But that was a
It
meaningless
was
game.
15 plus 7. What is that? Or 50
that's
plus
a lot of
1? I don't know.
I
There's
think
a lot of
24.
runs.
So you're telling me the Legion of Boom lost 24 to nothing?
I'm telling you, the Legion of Boom's pitcher showed up and pitched.
And
I'm not saying the Legion of Boom's left fielder came in to
Right.
pitch a game.
Chucky is
I'll
not
tell you, the
pitching.
pitcher
Why is
pitched,
so
the
Nathan
shortstop
Howell
played
pitching?
short, and the center fielder
why
played center.
when the Boys of Summer's pitcher, Ike Mavora, comes in and pitches, we have a problem?
I don't have a problem with
Okay.
that.
Let's just clear it at
Let's-
that.
I have a
Chosen in the
problem.
first round as a pitcher. How
He
can
was
we
chosen
blame
as a
for
pitcher, and he's pitching.
He can't
We weren't blamed.
be. But in game 1, Nathan pitched.
Did the Nation start that game?
I believe so.
No, I don't believe so.
What do you
I
believe?
believe that Ike started the game and it was 9-0.
No, game 2.
No, game 2.
So
Game
who started
one,
game 1?
Nathan. Nathan.
So I
They
just
went-
wanna have an answer.
Also, Maurice.
Oh, you have to speak to Nathan.
Okay.
Nathan, if you're listening,
But
call
you know
in.
him.
Please
you
call
know-
in.
Please
Tell
call
us.
in if you could tell us.
I
Also-
know Nathan must have felt, and he's always told me that his future might be on the bump. He might have felt that this is an
Okay.
opportunity for me to get my feet wet. I mean, I could have pitched game 2, but Wabe had pulled the groin.
Okay.
And what would they have said if Chucky Abady, ERA lifetime about 16, is pitching game 2 because Bawabe's got a groin pull? And why aren't they pitching
To Nathan's
X, Y, and Z?
defense,
Yeah.
he has pitched in the last game of the season before.
Okay, so
A
then,
couple of times.
Right.
I'm not saying that they came and threw the game. That is not my opinion.
and I'm not saying that
And if
either.
he's
Okay.
starting out game 1 pitching, he has an inkling that he's going to get the job done because he's not going to make Jackie Haddock sit out there while he gets, run through the mill and trashed. He must have felt that I can do as good a job as Eshko could do or Bawabe could
Maybe-
do.
maybe you're
or any
right,
of these
maybe
guys.
you're right.
Steve, Marius after he's not throwing
Right.
overhand.
Right.
Come on.
But anyway, bottom line is we didn't get the bye. We clinched second place.
One more thing about that game.
Yeah.
They've been going 4 outfielders all year. They went 3 outfielders yesterday.
Wow.
Jack Haddon in center field. 3 home runs by Leo Picciotto. 2 of them over Jack Haddon's head in center field. I don't know why they changed from 4 outfielders to 3 on the final day.
Well, what I heard, and this is a fact, is that they were playing 4 outfielders and they were playing equidistance. You know, where you have a guy in left field, a guy in kind of left center,
Right.
a guy in center, and a guy in right. Well, that didn't happen because Ike Mavora told me he went to right field next to the other outfielder. I don't know who it was, whether it's
This-
David
this-
Harari. And they tried to move Jackie Haddock over and didn't happen.
So this is what happened
that's
the
all I
week
can say.
before.
And then he
because
went
we
into short center.
commented on the week before when somebody hit a walk-off left field gapper.
Right.
The week
Braca.
before,
They were both
Braca,
there. And they were both
when
there.
Nathan was in left,
And Jackie was in
was
center.
straight away.
Straight away.
So they've had that alignment. I don't know what the thinking is.
It is what it
unless
is.
Nathan thinks he's still 25
All right,
years
well,
old.
anyway,
Bottom
we'll move
line,
on.
let's just hope Chucky was wrong because
Right.
he did say Nathan cannot live with himself if he's 5 and 13.
Remember
he
that
is 5
last
and
week.
13. Nathan, we do love you.
Do we have that tape from last week?
Yes, we do
Okay,
have the
great.
tape. And bottom line, we want to see you again next year. Maybe
Right.
as a player,
Right.
maybe not
I'd
as a
love to have
captain.
you.
Maybe he can't hack it as a captain. I don't know. It's been 21 years since he won a world championship. A long time. And
How
I
many
would-
championships has he won, by the way?
5.
He's a great player.
And
Bottom
that's
line
Nathan
is,
Towle?
no,
No.
no,
No.
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 Nathan Towle is a great player, and he's a great addition to this league, and fantastic. So
Yeah.
we just got to move forward. Let's
Okay.
move on.
Onward.
Yeah.
Let's go over to the Legion of Boom because I think you read that game completely wrong. Maybe just from picking up the paper or looking at the box score.
Yeah, they were highly competitive. in
Yeah.
that game. Highly competitive.
Well, very quietly.
I could see where I could be mistaken.
Was Zach
at 20
Ashkenazi
at
there? Norman?
24
Was Zach Ashkenazi there, or he was out?
No, he's in Israel, I believe.
And Sam Michon?
Nowhere to be found.
Okay, so that's it. They didn't show. At least Boys of Summer brought their guys.
No,
Jackie
you're
Haddock
reading it
came.
completely wrong. You're reading it completely wrong.
Is that sarcastically?
Yes, because
Okay,
it's
thank you.
24-0. How am I reading it wrong?
I guess
felt-
Listen,
you-
when's the last?
those are some of your
15
big
runs you scored.
Right, those are big
Did
ones.
you score
Those are
15
big
runs?
ones.
we scored 15
I
runs.
don't think you scored 15 runs all year.
Okay.
I just scored 15 runs in one game. They didn't show up.
I want to see which one of you
What are we
is going
doing?
to wake up
What are we
in the
reading?
playoffs.
What are we reading?
I'll tell you what you're
Tell me
reading
how-
wrong. I'll tell you something right now.
Yeah.
Helter Skelter played Legion of Boom the week before, and they overlooked the Legion of Boom, and they took a loss to the Legion of Boom.
Right.
Your friend Nathan on the Old Men of Summer, fighting for his season, played Legion of Boom. He lost a game to the Legion of Boom.
So-
the Untouchables, when they were fighting for their life, lost a game to the Legion of Boom because they overlooked the Legion of Boom.
A game
The
or two?
Cleveland Indians marched into Seattle. They saw a team that wasn't interested in playing against them. They saw a team that didn't show up, and they took it to them because that's what championship teams
Cleveland
do.
Indians are the
That's what
hottest team in
Cleveland
this
did.
league right now. You've won 8 out
No,
of
so
9.
I'm not
8 of 9, 8 of 10, something like that.
nine,
Yeah.
No, I am giving full credit to the Legion of Boom as they competed in the last month of the season. But
But not
certainly
the
in the
last
last
week. Not
week
the-
of the
they had no
season,
players.
that same team that split with this team and split
They
with
also
that
had
team,
9 guys.
did not.
But anyway, your game was anticlimactic. It was over. It
It
was
didn't
done.
matter
That was it.
anyway. The point is, 2 shutouts by Mikey Shalom, 2.8 ERA on the season. You turn that any way you want to turn it.
Many
I don't care.
extra inning games.
Two-
A lot of, you told me he pitched 3 extra games.
Extra inning games, 7 extra innings against Maurice, 7 extra innings against Chucky, 3 extra innings against the Cardinals, 2.8 ERA. Take that to the bank.
Look,
You want to point to Legion of Boom, 2 shutouts? Fine, 2 shutouts.
Look,
Big
I'm not
deal.
taking anything away from the Expos Indians.
No, the Indians, Cleveland
Whatever,
Indians.
Cleveland
They
Indians.
moved.
I'm not
Yeah,
taking anything
yeah.
away from the
That
Cleveland
team's
Indians.
the
But
fuck.
in this last foray in that doubleheader, the competition was a little bit lacking in terms of who
Sure.
showed up to it.
Sure.
But certainly at 6-0, I know for sure that Maurice does not have you on their radar at all to be picked.
You don't know that, Chucky.
And,
I don't know that. In
You don't
fact,
know.
I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked.
I'll tell you this.
And,
Was it true that Legion of Boom showed up 30 minutes late? I heard a little.
oh my
more
God.
about it. Oh, okay.
If the umpires showed up on time,
Oh, the umpires did
I
not
heard they
show
only
up on
had
time.
6 guys at game time.
they may have had 2 guys at game
Right,
time.
right.
They
They
may
didn't
have
show
had none. I had 12 an hour before the game.
Yeah, your team's there for
Look,
7
You
a.m.
know? So
One thing I'll say
They're
about the
sleeping in the
Cleveland
teepee.
Indians.
Yeah, they're in the
They sleep in the
teepee.
teepee.
One
Keep
thing I'll
people
say
there.
about the Cleveland Indians, which set them apart from the rest of the league, their pitchers showed every game.
Their whole team
Their
showed
team
up.
showed every game. And what's been, you've seen from the telecast tonight, many of the teams, my own team inclusive, are struggling to put, top-notch lineups on the field week in, week out. Whether it's Joe Chira missing X amount of games, or Jaime Shamma missing X, or Leo Casson missing X, or Chucky.
This
Abady
year
It's been
had
tough.
to be one of the worst attendances that I've seen in YMSL. I've been here for a long time. I've never had games where people were struggling to get players.
Okay,
I've never
now-
seen that.
Do you think it's the extra worked out in the gym that's causing these injuries or whatnot? Do you think it's people overdoing it in terms of football trainers
I
playing
think
them all?
people
What do you think
playing
it is?
tennis. I think a lot of things could factor into it, and traveling. But it's
All right.
worse there.
Okay.
So whatever.
We're going to, in a moment, have Maurice Haber's big selection on who he's picking to play in the playoffs. We got to close out the regular season.
Right.
Say goodbye to the Legion of Boom. Say goodbye to the old men of summer.
And Hebrew
say
Nationals.
goodbye to the Hebrew Nationals.
Bye-bye, Hebrew
Collapse,
Nationals.
disaster, and
Amen.
utter disaster.
Done.
Goodbye.
Now let's concentrate on the 7 teams.
We do need to have the players of the week for
Absolutely.
week 10 very quickly, and then Maurice,
You got
get
it.
ready to make
Albert,
your
come right
selection. Albert, come on in. If Mikey Shalom's not a player of the week, something is
please,
wrong.
David, fuck.
0 runs.
Wow.
0
Anybody from the
runs.
Legion of
2
Boom?
consecutive
I
shutouts.
don't have audio.
Any players in the league for the Legion of Boom?
They didn't get a guy. They didn't have a double. They had 6 singles in 2 games. I don't care who you're playing.
No,
All right.
That's ridiculous.
We're not knocking the Cleveland Indians by knocking the Legion of Boom.
Stop
It's
talking
a
about
knock.
the Indians.
It's a knock to throw away.
Introduce yourself.
You're Mr. Run Differential. You guys got to play Legion of Boom.
I give you credit,
You know,
under the circumstances.
I can't control the schedule.
I'm not faulting the Cleveland Indians by any stretch. I'm just saying the Legion doesn't seem to have showed up. They don't show up. You took care of business. You shut
Right.
them down. You scored 24 runs.
All true.
Kudos.
Good. Albert.
All right. Thank you. Players of the week for week 10.
I'm sweating, Al.
We have everybody's on pins and needles. You know,
Yes.
viewing parties. You watch the World Cup. They show the city square in every different country reacting to the goals.
The flags.
I'm imagining that's happening in Houston right now as they wait Maurice Haber's selection. So I don't want to take too long. I do want to increase the suspension, but
Okay.
the suspense, not suspension.
He wants to increase the suspension. You heard it here.
Slip. 2 years. 2 years.
I didn't actually want to say that, but that's the buzzword. That's the buzzword of this week, so I'm sorry. All right, so I'm going to be quick. I do have a couple stats I want to go to complete the season. I'll be very quick, a couple minutes. 3 players of the week this week. We're going to start off with the Rockies. You can tell me if you've ever seen a stat line like this from a player of the week in your times.
He had a full season in the game.
Leo Pachotto,
Full season worth. Look at this.
7 for 9, 4 runs, 11 RBI, including 3 home runs in 1 week. That's better stats. That's an MVP candidate in 1 week,
Right.
there.
Right.
So Leo Pachotto, congratulations, one of the best players of the week I've ever seen.
Wow.
So congratulations to Leo Pachotto
Kudos, Leo. Not surprised.
to catapult the Rockies into first place. The second player of the week for the Stros, Michael Saban Solomon, going 5 for 7, 4 runs and 5 RBIs. 4 runs and 5 RBIs, so that's 9 runs he was involved in Saban. And congratulations to Saban for the
Yeah, Mike,
But he did not make Maurice's
Maurice
top
Haber,
3.
he's awesome. I
Top
love
3
him.
players of the week, but he made your top 3 in the league.
Look, last week Mo Shamma got player of the week. He was intentionally walked 7 times and he still got it. David Farker got it last week, and
Okay.
Maurice didn't appreciate it at all.
Indians
So-
still waiting for a player of the
so-
week.
It's coming now. It's coming now.
The last player of the week. The last player of the week for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
No, what do you mean?
The Brooklyn Dodgers needed to sweep to
The
get in.
Wasser guy.
He lives only a few feet away from the YMSL headquarters. Grew up asking for autographs every time the Douglas Report ended. Mr. Jacob Wasser, a rookie. Congratulations, Jacob Wasser. 6 for 7. Only made out one time the whole day. 1 run and 4
Protected
RBI.
Allie in that situation.
Right, Allie walked a lot. They walked Allie a lot to get to the rest of the order, and Wasser cashed in on it. He had a huge hit in Game 2. I saw it. Huge hit in Game 2 against the Nats to start the rally to demolish the Nationals in the first or second inning. And congratulations to Jacob Wasser for Player of the Week. So those are 3 Players of the Week.
Okay, there you have it. I gotta add Mikey Shalom. I don't care what you say.
I'm not saying I'm adding Mikey Shalom.
I'll tell you this.
I add Mikey Shalom. You don't add Mikey Shalom.
6 singles in 2
I heard
games.
his ERA was 2.18.
2.8.
2.8.
How many runs did he give up
It's
this week?
Tanaka-like.
0 runs.
Who did he
in
play?
2 games.
Please, he played nobody.
You guys all played the same team he played. Albert, thank you.
One more thing before
Go,
we
one
do the
more.
show.
Who won the batting title and any
We're
of
gonna
those
congrats.
stats?
The season's over. We're going to congratulate the batting title winner, Mr. David Farka. He took a couple years off to play in the minor leagues.
Woo!
He revamped his game.
They fixed his swing down there.
Yeah, he shortened his backswing. And
Pulled a
David
couple
Farka
of hammies and, milked that.
What a pick made second
milked
round.
the injuries and
Milked
came
the
back.
injury and hit homers
And,
while he was
he
looking
was-
around.
I thought the last time we had the show, he was out for the year.
I think Maurice
And-
Haber, Maurice
Right.
lost Michael Bena's
Yeah.
number from what I understood.
But somehow David Farka, he won the batting title, batting only .538. It's a great average, but a historically low batting title
For this league.
for this league. Last year, Eddie Michon won in the 630s or 640s. We no one knows. There's a lot
Once
of
we
reasons
cleaned
why.
up the Lloyds from the
Exactly.
That's
league.
what it was.
We're back in the
It's-
dead ball era.
It's back in the dead ball era. You see
Yeah.
the league leading homers is 3 and 4.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
what
Great
it's
job.
On top of the batting title, David Farka won the Triple Crown. We talked about it before.
Even over Leo with his 3 homers in one game?
David Farka had 3 homers coming into this week.
Okay.
And I think maybe even more than 3 homers coming into this week.
Yeah.
Not confirmed. Last thing we go.
What was his RBIs, just so we know?
23.
22, I think, or
23.
22.
It's
or
low for
23.
the league in general. Did he lead the league with 22?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's low for last year.
Yeah,
We had-
He won the Triple Crown, he
It's
said.
an 18
Because we have Mikey Shalom in the league. That's
18
why they
It's
can't
an 18
score.
game season and only 22 RBIs for the league
Right,
record. Last
right.
year they were Saban and
28,
Allie.
27,
Saban I think had
28.
30
Maybe.
almost last year.
No,
So
the guy's hitting five
Yeah.
and change.
Still a great stat.
No, great stats, but I'm
Great
just saying
stats,
it's
Watch out, everybody.
This
premium
league-
on run production.
the defenses in this league were better than we've seen
Correct.
And the
in the
pitching
past.
was great.
So, and the pitching. Last thing, little fun thing before I go. Only going to be a minute. I have some team stats. I'm not sure. I know you guys spend a lot of time on Game Changers, so if you know the answers, don't guess.
Okay.
But I have all the teams' averages here.
All
And
right.
all the teams' averages with runners in scoring position here.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow,
and we're gonna
that's great.
quickly guess, and everybody here, Douglas is in the audience, he's gonna guess, and Maurice is gonna guess. We're gonna guess which team led the league and which team was the worst in the league in each
Okay.
category. Very, very quickly.
Go.
Very quickly.
Astros.
Batting average. Who led the league in batting average?
Helter Skelter.
Gotta be the Astros.
Rockies.
I'm going with the Astros.
Going with Skelter.
You're going with Helter
Helter
Skelter?
Skelter, yeah.
Your own team won. The Astros.
The hell do I know?
386
Roman and I'll take
average.
We'll take that.
386
Roman and I will take
average.
that. Astros.
Okay.
You got Farka leading the way, and you got a bunch of studs on that.
Now,
Next.
the worst team in average this year.
Gotta go boys of summer.
Gotta go.
Indians.
Legion of Boom.
You know what? Legion did have that one big blowout in Game 1 against A.B. Saka. So, and Boys of Summer didn't have anything like that. I'm going with Chucky. I'm saying Boys of Summer.
Legion of Boom.
Yeah, Mo, he's back.
317 average. Boys of Summer had a 326 average.
One
And
point.
imagine what Legion of Boom's average would have been without Game 1 against AB Second. Probably would have been in the twos.
0.
Probably would have been in the twos. So that's great. Now, average of runners in scoring position, a little different. Which team led the league in average with runners in scoring position?
I got
Helter
this.
Skelter with the most runs in the league.
I'm not.
I'm not counting your last 24 runs, by the way.
We did score with runners in scoring position. They
Wow.
do count.
Yeah.
Who are you going with?
I'm going with the Untouchables.
That's a good guess. I'm going to go with the Rockies. They seem to win these tight games. They get a guy on, they somehow get him home.
Yeah, Douglas.
I'll say the Rockies because we were not great with runners in scoring position.
The answer is the Rockies. They were second place in batting average, first place in runners in scoring position with 440.
Clutch
The
team.
Astros, number 1 in the league in average, batted 415 with runners in scoring position, and the Indians, 4th place. So
Where
clutch.
did the Untouchables finish?
Actually, it looks like Legion has a high one. I'm not sure if that's actually accurate.
That's
Yeah.
wrong.
Where did the
That's definitely
Untouchables
wrong.
finish
Mistake.
with that one?
It has to be wrong. Untouchables were 397. They came in, I think, 5th place. So
Okay.
Helter Skelter,
Right.
374, in
Got it.
5th or 6th place.
Next
So,
one.
and that's it. That's all I got.
All right, Albert.
Thank you,
Thanks for that info.
Interesting. But one comment I'll make on the stats you gave us, they're all very tightly bunched.
Anybody.
I mean, from first to fourth, 20 points in batting average, a couple
What I would say to you is that they look tight, but they're not actually tight. If you think about it, the number one team is 386, and the last team is 317. That's aggregating 12 guys on a team. Statistically, it's almost impossible to have so much of a variation unless you pick, the worst team. It's hard over 12 players to have a variation of 200 points on average.
Right.
I would also go as far to say is that batting average, sometimes the averages, it's such a small difference, but it's I don't even know what I'm supposed to say. But if you read the book Moneyball, in the MLB, 2 weeks.
It's a hit a week. They hit 300 from 260.
2 hits a month.
260,
75 and 300.
Yeah,
so
right. 260. It's a hit a week.
Yeah, but obviously it's not comparable to why we play once a week. But that's it.
No, but just in closing, the number one batting average was what?
386.
And the number 6?
The number 6 one, 360 something.
So from 6 to 1, it's not less. It's only 20 points.
All right.
Right.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me
Factoring
on.
out the end of the bell curve.
Thank you.
Right.
All right.
Thank you for having me on.
Good job. All right.
Let's get to the pick, buddy.
All right, baby.
The moment
Let's
we've
get
all
to the
been
pick.
waiting
It's
for.
gonna be Sunday afternoon already.
Let's get to the pick.
That's it. We're gonna wrap it up here.
So I'm going to basically tell you exactly what I'm
You
thinking.
gonna tell us the thought process?
No, I'm going to tell you the thought process. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking.
Please don't praise every team in the
I'm not
league
praising.
now
I'm
and
not
all that
praising anybody.
nonsense.
I'm going to tell you straight from my heart. I hate this segment of the show. I hate picking. I think they should change it. They should ban it. Last year, I picked the Bad News Bears, and it bit me. It bit me in the butt.
Did you pick them, or did Hammering Hank force that pick?
No. Hammering Hank was out of the situation, but he had a little to do. Chucky had a little to do with it. I listened to my team. This year, I thought about it, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm a 2 seed. Can you tell me who is the 7th seed over here?
Yeah.
Who is the 7th seed?
The Cardinals.
And how should the conventional way of going? Should it be 2 versus 7?
Yes.
Should it be 3 versus 6 and on we go?
5. That would be
you know what I'm
conventional,
saying?
yes.
Or the Dodgers are in the 7th seed. Because if the Dodgers are in the 7th seed, I'm taking the Dodgers.
Well, the Dodgers.
Are they in the because they have the same records? I think the Dodgers are in the 7th seed. So whoever is the 7th seed, I am taking.
Well, it's interesting because the regular
8
season
and 10.
play-in game
Did
is
not
considered
count.
a regular season game.
No, it's not.
It
It's
is.
not.
No.
No, it's not.
Statistically,
No,
it
no,
is.
absolutely.
Statistically,
One game
it is.
playoff is
I
regular
read the
season.
rules.
Not in the YSL,
Don't be
not
wise
in the
guys. Not in the
YSL.
YSL. So now go back in. You can't get me.
Okay.
So tell
So
me who's
then-
the 7th seed.
Then I'm going to have to go with Cardinals.
So I have no choice but to take the 7th seed. Again,
Who is
Eddie.
it?
I think it's the
Cardinals.
Condos.
Okay.
But the bottom line
said
is
that?
Eddie
I sent an email
Michon
to
and team. They're a great team, and we're gonna have to come to play to beat them because they got great hitting. They got a great pitcher, and they have John Elias and Eddie Michon. So it's not gonna be an easy task. But I'm going with the 2 and 7, and that's the bottom line. That's what I'm
Okay.
doing.
Okay.
So you're taking on Eddie Michon. Max Yedid in the postseason has not gone too far. You actually had him as a captain in the postseason, I believe.
With Nathan Zolta,
With Nathan Zulta,
who
that's
has
right.
turned his career around
Yes.
ever since he left me.
He's a
Okay.
hitter, by the way. that
He
Nathan
is a
Zoltan.
tremendous
Not only a
hitter.
home run hitter, he is
Right.
a.
And they have Erwin Cohen in
Takes what
center
you give
field.
him.
Don't they have Erwin Cohen?
They do have
Do
Erwin.
they have Erwin Cohen?
They
Yes.
do have Erwin
Okay,
Cohen.
they do.
Yes.
Okay.
As far
Yes.
as,
They have Erwin Cohen, as far as I know,
As
and,
far as you know.
and he has said he is
I
playing.
think the purpose of the pick, Maurice is trying to minimize the
That's the truth.
locker room, information.
There's
as
no
opposed to
rah-rah.
he's kissing their butts.
Yeah.
I love them.
Love Eddie Michon, not a bad
Love
captain
them.
in the league. Gotta love John Eliezer.
Gotta love
he
him.
loves everybody. Max Yedid,
Love
he
him.
was playing with them.
I love him.
And he's picking the Cardinals.
Right.
So,
Yeah, 2-7.
The Cardinals see through Maurice. They all know he's picking them.
Yes.
He wants them. He thinks Maxi Deed can't win a big game. He thinks Bracca's over the hill.
I didn't even
Erwin
know. Oh,
Cohen-
Bracca's on the team. Wait, can you switch it?
Bracca's on
I'd
that
like to
team.
switch it now.
Erwin and John, these guys are overrated, and he's saying,
Wow.
give me my chances against the Cardinals.
Wait till the Skelter picks what I do. Go ahead.
Okay, Maurice, give
You gotta call it, you gotta call it.
before.
Okay, Helter
Then we'll-
Skelter is on the clock. Caller,
Yes,
who's this?
Sammy Cowell, Captain of the Rockies.
Hey, Sammy, how are
Hey,
you?
Sammy, how are
Where
you?
are you vacationing, Sam? You down in Turks and Caicos? Where are you?
No, I'm just actually in New York, and I just rarely call in, but I had to call in here. I found myself running to a payphone. And
there is a payphone?
I just have to say one thing, and just to clarify something, and I must say, Chucky, you're on the money. I know Maurice maybe, or 1% was insinuating maybe that the boys this summer threw the games by, they didn't pitch their guys, but I have to tell you, I got there at 8:15 for an
Correct.
True professionals. They came to play. I think they all 12 guys showed up, not 9 guys. They all played mostly their positions. No one was playing, out of position just for the fun of it. And you sometimes just got to give credit that you say to yourself, you know what, maybe an 11-5 team just beat a 5-11 team.
I agree,
The
Sambo.
Rockies are a better team than the boys of summer. Maybe the Rockies beat them fair and square.
Right.
I'm
Right.
with you, Sam.
Right.
Okay, and Nathan pitched first game, not because he was trying to give any games. I bet you would like to pitch. He even after the game said, do I have a future pitching?
I'm
I
with you.
said, the truth is, you didn't walk one batter. We just flat out hit. We flat out hit Ike Magora, and we flat out hit Nemi. So we flat out just kicked their butts. But it's more because the Rockies played well than the boys of summer didn't play well. So I just want to clarify that for the record. There was no dumping. If you ask anybody, he's the one guy, I don't care if his brother and his son and whoever's on the team, he doesn't play the game that way, never has. I don't think he ever will. And we just, how do you discount Leo Pichotto having 12 RBIs and 7 for 9? And, we scored 29 runs, but let me tell you, there were 29 earned runs. There was not, a couple errors, of course, but we flat out beat them. We beat them fair and square. So the Astros, I know it's a shame that they didn't get the bye. They didn't hold their own, they had to actually depend on us losing. So they didn't control their own destiny.
That's
They
it.
won their 2 games against 9 guys, which we all knew they're going to beat them.
By the way, Sammy,
They didn't show up.
sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
if they could accuse the boys of summer of not showing up, which I don't think they did make that accusation, tell you the truth.
I'm telling you, if it was,
If they could accuse them-
you know what? They really didn't even.
But also, Helter Skelter did not exactly show up for the game against the Astros.
Right.
Well, Helter Skelter told me, said, Sammy, I know we were not winning those 2 games. We didn't even care to win those 2 games. We really weren't even showing up.
Yeah, they didn't show up, Sammy. They didn't show up for us either. So, I mean, the same thing happened. You're right, Sammy.
Which is just wrong. It's flat out wrong.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's not right for the league.
Right.
The guys did not show up on that team.
Absolutely.
They owe it to the league, for the integrity of the league.
Right.
They all should show up, like the boys of summer. Even though they're out of it, they owe it to the league to show up, be present, and play the game the way the game's played.
Absolutely.
Well said, Sam.
Well
Well
said,
said.
Sammy.
So,
Well
I
said,
want to
Sam.
clarify that, and good luck the rest of the way, and hopefully we'll see you guys. And I think the Astros, and I think the Indians, and I think all Untouchables, they're all great teams, and who knows, maybe we'll see you guys if we're lucky enough to get to the final.
Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you, Sammy. Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay.
Very well said. By the way, I got to stick up for Maurice. He did not say Nathan threw the game. And I didn't say it. The only person that uttered the words throw the game was the guy defending Nathan, which was you. You're the first person
We
that
never said
said Nathan didn't throw the game, or you're insinuating he threw the game.
I'd
or
have to go
whatever.
back to the video, but there was an innuendo that by Nathan starting game 1, that was not in the best interest of the team. And I made it clear that Nathan feels his future might be on the bump. That was the
On
phrase
the
I
bump,
used.
yes.
On the bump. And he was just going to see if he had the stuff,
So I'd like to say one thing to that.
So if I was the one that said through the game and no one else was alluding to that, I think the audience can make their own decision
Fair.
what
Right.
Maurice's
Very fair.
intent
Maurice,
was
what do you say?
and what my intent was, and I'll stick by what I said, Maurice.
You got it.
Maurice, what do you have to say?
Bottom line is Nathan Towell and Jackie Hatter did show up to the game, and it's great for the league. But I want to ask you a question about Nathan pitching the last game. If that's going to be his career, why not pitch 4 games before? Why not pitch 3 games before? Tell me why not.
Because
that's the time they needed him. And if he was the guy, besides the Colorado Rockies, which were the big red machine that were hitting him like crazy, earned runs, why didn't he do that against another team inferior to
I'll
the
say,
Rockies?
not
Please
to
tell
be,
me
not
that.
to be in Nathan's head, but I'm saying he's not selfish enough to put his desire to test his mettle out on the mound at the sake of the team when he still has Nemi throwing or Mavoa still
Got
wanting
it.
to pitch.
All right, no
he waited
problem.
till
I
they
made
were
my
basically
point.
eliminated and then said, you know what? I'm eliminated. I still think I'm competitive.
Right.
I think I can give my team a chance
And
to
he did
win.
pitch well, Sammy
And
said.
there you
He
go.
did pitch well.
So,
All right,
you know,
we give
that's
the
what-
Rockies credit 100%.
Okay.
Let's move on. Next
Okay.
guests.
Let's call up Douglas Dweck for a moment. Douglas is representing the Helter Skelter organization. They are captained by Max Sutton. They had an excellent start to the year. First place and visions on the bye. It seems that towards the middle and end of the season. You had a few injuries. Meyer is hurt. Hank is traveling. And it seems like you guys didn't show up at all this week against the Houston Astros.
Yeah, so 9-1 versus 9-1 when we played the Rockies.
Right.
We got swept by the Rockies. At that point, it's almost impossible to pass them. You have to pick up 3 games on them with maybe 6 games left.
But only one
Very,
week
very
later,
tough.
the Untouchables came and swept the Rockies field. You were right back in it.
Back 10-4, 10-4.
Right, we were in it, so we did pick up some ground.
And who were you playing in that 15-16 game?
Right, so we played...
That's right, Chucky.
You played the Legion of Boom.
Right,
That's
and
right.
At the
And
time,
split with them.
right, at the time, the Rockies had played the Astros. On Memorial 2, we were on Memorial 1.
Right.
And they split, and they were done playing. We were actually finishing up our game. And we knew that if we won, we were ahead of them.
Right.
And we lost that second game.
No, so I got to think with 4 games to play, you playing the Legion of Boom, them playing the Astros, that was your opportunity to jump the game, which you needed for the tiebreaker.
Right.
You needed to be
Huge,
a game ahead.
huge.
But we also knew...
But had you swept that week and
Yeah.
taken the 1-game lead with a week to play,
Right. But we also knew that the last game for the Rockies was against Boys of Summer. So we're out of it.
You know, I don't
and we
think
still
it-
had the Astros left.
you know,
so
Doug, I'm surprised.
it's hard.
I don't think it's your MO to really. I think your MO has always been you try to win every single game. You don't concern yourself with if they win 2, then we can eat the split. So we might as well not win 2 because if they win
No,
2
no,
and we
we
win
didn't.
1, I mean, you're known as a guy that
Right.
you know you'll be 0-15 and you'll go after the last 3 games. I mean,
Yeah, you always try to win the games, but
you were doing all that figuring.
no, when you're playing 9-1 versus 9-1,
Right.
and you get swept by them, in your head
Mentally-
you say,
mentally
yes,
you were
100%.
taking it back. Wow.
At that point, we said,
And then at
it's
10
very because I didn't even think they'd lose enough games the rest of the way to.
But
pass
at
them.
10-4 and 10-4, was your mindset still 4 games to play? I got the Boom and Skelter on my schedule. They still have the Astros on their schedule. I can't gain a game in those last 4. Was that your mindset at 10-4 now? I hear
It
you
was-
at 9-1.
I would. You want an honest answer? I'm
Yeah,
giving you an honest
yeah.
answer. We knew we had players away.
Ah,
And we knew it was going to be tough. We feel that the Astros were a great team. We didn't see them yet,
right.
but we know their lineup. We knew what they were doing. We knew against you, they put up a big fight, right? You went 14 innings with them, so we knew it wasn't going to be easy. And I'll also add, we thought the Boys of Summer were terrible. I didn't think the Boys of Summer were going to win a game against the Rockies, which
Right.
they didn't. They didn't even come
So you were
close.
thinking about what the
So it
Rockies
was
were
very,
going to
very
do.
tough. When it came
Did
to
you think,
second,
by the way,
yeah.
Doug, to interrupt, not to interrupt, but
Right.
to interrupt, did you think you were going to split with the Legion of Boom? Were you content
No,
with
no,
that
no,
split?
no, but not, of course not.
So how did
Definitely
you
not.
think you were going to
But
run the
I
table?
think even if we swept them, we wouldn't have gotten first. Is that
At-
correct?
Well,
no,
if
if
you
you
would've
swept
been a
them,
game ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but as it turned out, we wouldn't have.
Well,
you gave up the last 2 games.
Right.
right.
You're actually on a
At that
3-game losing
point,
streak
I
right
think
now.
I think at that point,
Even if you split, you didn't get it.
no, but if you had the game lead,
We would have
knowing-
had to swept the Astros.
But
Even with the game lead.
But if you had the game lead, you would have gone into that last week
A little
Right.
different.
a little
Right.
different mindset.
Right, but
Clearly.
still, and I had asked Max, by the way, about that Eli Harari injury. I asked him actually tonight. I said, if you knew that you were up a game on the Rockies,
Right.
going into the last week, would you have taken a player for the last week against the Astros, knowing if you split, you could still get a bye?
Right.
And he said he would not have.
Okay, bottom line.
So,
Okay.
That's it. That's history.
Moving on,
Okay,
you're on
yeah.
a little bit of a 3-game losing. No, you're on a 3-game losing
Right,
streak.
right. By the way, Maurice just mentioned that we didn't show up, but we brought whoever we had.
No.
The rest of the guys were in Israel.
I'm sure you showed up. It was a
So-
tough
Well, the guys that showed up, but
Right.
your team did not show up as a team, wherever they are. I'm not saying it's
Right,
bad.
right, right.
The players that didn't show up, you'll agree, they didn't show up.
No, we played as
Did
good
the
as we
players
could.
that didn't show up show up?
I'm confused.
If they were Indians, they didn't show up.
The players that
only
didn't
show
come
up if
didn't
you
come.
show up.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear. If you don't show up,
Right.
then you didn't show
Okay,
up.
then you're not.
Let's see who Helter
Right.
Skelter
So-
pitcher Maya Safdie is
So-
choosing to pick.
It's not him choosing to pick.
Who is choosing? Hank.
No, it's not hammering
It's a
Hank.
committee.
Not hammering Hank. We spoke about it.
Right.
So it's a choice that we weren't sure who Maurice was going to pick either.
Okay.
So we had no idea who he was going to pick.
Okay, but you had plan A, plan B.
Plan A, Plan B. Basically, we would like to avoid the Wahoo crazy Indians.
I don't blame you.
Like to avoid them. David Rishley's son still comes to the game with an Expos hat.
Yes.
Yes, it still shows up with an Expos hat, which is a little weird, but it still shows up
I
with an
love
Expos
that
hat.
guy.
When you have Jeffrey and Allie and Jimmy and the Dodgers that are pretty hot, you sort of want to avoid them too.
Oh.
Sort of want to avoid them too.
Okay.
So we can let you play Jeffrey and Allie and everyone else and let you fight it out.
Okay. It sounds like
And we can choose to play the very touchables.
Wow, the
Very touchable.
touchables.
Very touchable. We could choose to play them, so that is our selection. We will be playing the very touchables
Who do we got?
Wow,
in the first round. We beat them 8-1.
and
we
by
beat them
process
8-6.
of elimination, I mean
We beat them
Indians play the
8-6,
Dodgers.
and we did sweep them twice. We did sweep.
So you won 4 games against
No,
us?
sweep you once, won 2 games. But we did sweep all the playoff teams. Basically, the Cardinals we swept. Untouchables, not the Indians, but
Right.
we did sweep the Dodgers too. So, but
Now-
we played A's and we didn't play Saka.
Now I'm sure there
So
was
was it? Yeah,
I'm sure there was a ton of opinions on your team who to take.
right.
Who was the next team you were considering? Like, who, was it between the Indians and Untouchables? Was it between the Dodgers and Untouchables?
I'll tell you the truth. It was between only the Untouchables. It was never
Wow.
really. Yeah. It was. We liked the. We would have taken maybe the Cardinals or the Untouchables between those.
Oh, so you like that pick, the Cardinals?
Yeah, we liked the
Okay.
Cardinal pick between that. We also split them too.
But you wouldn't have taken the Cardinals. You were going for the Untouchables.
No. Very
All the way.
close.
I mean,
that would have been a choice.
you would
I'm
rather
not
play
saying it's
Untouchables
choice.
than have the
Chucky
buy,
pick,
I understand.
Chucky.
If you're given the choice between the
listen.
buy and the Untouchables,
Chucky.
I don't know the answer.
Doug, Chucky, how do you feel that the choice, once the Cardinals were off the board, was between the Untouchables and the Untouchables? How did that make you feel as one of the leaders of the Untouchable organization?
no, I think it's a great choice. I think he did his due diligence. I think he covered all bases. He did refer to us as the Touchables.
Very touchables. The very touchables.
If you remember the scene in the elevator when the guy kicked it to the head, they write in paint on his blood on the wall, Touchables. When they shoot the,
Yes, they do.
They shot the bookkeeper.
Don't they throw them off the roof?
No, they threw Nitty off the roof. Where is
Somebody
Nitty,
off
by
the
the way?
roof.
Where is
I don't
Nitty?
know.
Douglas,
Ask my grandchildren where is
Thank
Nitty,
you, Douglas.
and they'll tell you he's in the car. Because they threw Nitty off the roof,
Right.
and he landed
That's
in the
on
car.
the car.
So I asked my 3-year-olds, where's Nitty? And they say,
Oh, you covered
in the
that.
car.
Douglas, hold on one second. I'm getting a call. 1 second. Caller, how are you?
Hi guys, how are you?
Who is this?
This is the Joey Natesh,
Are you in the league?
fan over here.
Okay, Joey, how are you? How
Is
can we help
he in the
you?
league?
Thank you.
Fan of the show, first time caller, big time listener.
Great.
Oh, you in the lead.
Hear about the playoffs you guys saw.
You got to talk much, much louder, Joey.
Shut your radio off.
Radio's off, but by the way,
Tell the dog to put the dog down.
Kill the dog.
I don't know.
Shoot the dog.
Joey, what do you got?
hello?
Yes, what do you need?
Listen to hear about the playoffs. Can you give us a little bit of a rundown?
Yes, keep turn your radio back on and you're going to hear about it.
Thank you.
All right. Now,
I think he gets a call when he
Who
gets a
is
t-shirt.
Joe Batesh?
Joe Batesh.
Is he not even in this league?
okay,
I think he's
guys.
playing
Norman,
he's replacements
that
for,
means by process of elimination, the Wahoo Cleveland Indians
That's right.
will be playing Jeffrey Saka
Yes.
and the
Allie.
Brooklyn Dodgers.
Allie and Jimmy.
What's your take on that?
My take is I had no control who I was picking. I will try my best to beat any team I had to play. I told Eshko, you guys want to pick us? We'll play you, we'll beat you. I told Helter, you want to pick us? We'll play you, we'll definitely beat you. That was not even a question.
Maybe next round.
Bottom line is, they're a great team. Jeffrey's, one of the all-time greatest pitchers. Not an easy task. I didn't pick him, but I have to play him.
That's going to be a great matchup.
I think so.
Must see TV.
And the Cleveland Indians are ready, and I think we're going to go all the way. So I
Good
do
luck to
predict
you.
the Indians to win.
Good luck
Let's
to you.
start with that matchup.
Sure.
Indians versus Dodgers. Chucky, what's your prediction here?
I think the regular season has to be taken under consideration. I think the Indians, basically a team that's been together for 2 years,
Yeah,
except for one player who happens to be now the dominant force on the other team that you're playing.
no problem.
But basically, these Indians have been together. They're a 700 ball playing team over the 2 years. I think the Indians have to be the favorites. In the
So you're
matchup.
basically picking them in what?
3 games.
3 games.
Maurice, how about you?
All right, so I have a different take on this. It's a tough matchup for you, Cleveland Indians. I think that the Dodgers are going to be a tough out. They're a very dangerous team, and they're playing with house money right now. So, Norman, you better bring your A game. I'm picking the Dodgers to win it in 3.
Okay, Maurice, your son is on that team, right?
My son Abraham is on that team. I have some rooting interest, but to be partial, I'm looking at that team, and
be
they have
impartial or to be partial? To be
Impartial. Sorry, I have Ali Marshall, who's one of the top hitters in this league.
Okay. Now, Maurice actually picked the Pittsburgh Pirates last year. He was
No,
in
no.
their huddle in the World Series, in their huddle, pumping them up. Check it out on YouTube. He had that and he said, you're going to grab the momentum. You're going to beat this team. They got nobody. They got no pitcher, no hitter, no this, no that. Fine. I'm picking the Indians.
Shocker.
Wow, breaking news.
You said you're going all the way. I mean,
In two.
I got to tell you.
He thinks he'll just one.
In one. He's picking him in one.
Like a mercy. They don't even want to play the second game.
Which analyst on this very same broadcast was correct all 7 times in the postseason last year?
Wow, okay.
Thank you.
I think that was me.
All right, good
And,
luck.
well, you're picking your own team every time, so you won the championship.
We won every playoff game last year. We didn't lose a game, first time in history.
First time in history.
So
7. Someone went 6-0. Moses and family went 6-0.
We won 7 in a row and we lost the first one.
So Norman, you're picking a sweep.
I'm picking the Indians all the way. Yes.
All right, gotcha.
And
Great.
what do you want me to pick? 'Cause you want me to go with
I
your
just want to know if you're going to win in 3 or 2. I just want to know. All right, go
Let me
ahead.
ask you the question.
Yes.
Are you going to beat this Cardinal team in 3 or 2?
Okay, so first of all, you know I'm picking the Astros.
We know.
And I think it's gonna be a tough series, and I'm gonna beat them in 3.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I'm
Give
gonna
us
do
the
it.
Cardinals a game, huh?
Yeah, I'm giving the Cardinals again. I'm giving them game 1 probably.
You're saying your
Wow.
team is
Yeah,
going to lose
I'm
game
gonna learn
1.
from all in what happened, and I'm gonna keep my cool so I don't get suspended for the year. That's
You're
the
going
bottom
to
line.
say that your team with Maurice Shammah,
Yeah.
Triple Crown winner David Farker,
Yeah,
Jackie
absolutely.
Eshko on the mound is going to lose to the Cardinals, is what you're saying.
I think it's a
on the live
possibility. Yeah,
broadcast.
I'm sitting. It's a possibility.
How can you pick these players?
I just
who are
wanna
so
win.
excited. How can you pick them to lose game 1?
I
of the
don't need
playoffs?
to bury anybody. All I need to do is keep marching on. And
You
that's what
buried
I'm
your
saying.
own team. You just picked your own team
Save
to
on
lose
Big
game
Sully
1.
as an all-star team.
All right.
How could you do it?
I picked the Astros in 3.
You're like the German
Go ahead.
coach on the
I picked the
American
Astros
team.
in 3.
You like that guy?
There's a strategy behind it.
Right. Klinsman.
There's a strategy behind it. Let's move
We don't have
on.
a chance.
What's your pick on the Astros versus the Cardinals?
Astros in 2. If there was a mercy rule in the playoffs, it
God.
would be applied.
Nice.
Astros in 2. Cardinals different level.
I got to go Astros in 2.
Okay.
I don't know what you're watching, but the Astros are a good team, man.
Here you had it.
Hold on. Caller, how are you?
Hey, this is Joey, the Michigan. How are you?
Joey, what do you need, buddy?
You guys hear me this time? I got that service.
We can hear you, but you gotta have something to say, Joey.
I want to talk to Chucky, Norman Maurice. I'm a big time follower of the league, and I want you to make my predictions for the week.
Go ahead, make him, Joe.
Mike doesn't do that. Mike,
No, yeah.
Mike doesn't like to.
Joey Clark.
Who do you pick to win the championship?
You got to go with the Indians.
There you go. Smart man, Joey. Joey,
our favorite caller.
thank you for
Joey,
the call.
thanks for calling.
Call again, buddy.
Joey
Now-
from Long Branch. Joey from Long Branch.
All right, go ahead. All right, so Chucky, you
I'm
picked the
going
Astros.
yeah.
So now we got to go to the 3rd game.
I can't believe you predicted your team to
All right,
lose
let's
the
move-
playoff game.
Let's move on.
I don't think it's ever been done.
All right, well, it's going to be done now.
Wow.
So let's move on to the Untouchables versus the
Very
touchable.
Very touchable.
versus Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter.
Okay, what's your prediction?
Okay. My prediction is very, very simple. There's 2 teams that are hotter than any other team in the league.
Jeff say Steven Safety. You didn't announce it.
Okay, Steven Safety is playing for Helter Skelter. For
Breaking
Eli
news,
Harry.
breaking news.
Yeah.
Everyone knows he's a dominant hitter.
I'm sorry. I'm
Wait,
sorry.
wait,
I'm sorry. When was that?
Before no,
Who
before,
okayed that?
before we go ahead with this, okay? Eli Harari was out for the year before this week, before week
Okay.
10.
Okay.
Right.
So
Which
the
states
Helter
in the
Skelter
rules?
had a choice
To replace.
take somebody now from outside the league and get it approved to replace Eli Harari for the year, or do we just take the hit and play with 8 guys and Louis Dweck and wait for somebody to be eliminated and take a lower draft pick? So they decided to play with 8 guys and get Louis,
Right.
and then wait for Steven Safety to be eliminated, and then grab him. He's a lower draft pick, and he's automatically approved. So Eli Harari was deemed out for the season before this week with a torn rotator cuff, we think. And Helter Skelter took
Fine.
the hit and played with 1 man down.
Great job, Helter
So
Skelter.
they could wait for a team. So they would wait for a player who was automatically approved by being a lower draft pick.
Right.
Got it.
So let's just
He's a
clear that
DH,
before
by the
the
way.
speculation.
He'll probably be
before
DH.
Well,
people
Steven
going,
Safety
okay,
is
wait.
playing in outfield.
Wait a second. Only question I have on the legality of that, and I really don't want to get involved in it because
Right.
we're talking for 2 hours already.
Right.
I mean,
Only question
was
is-
there any? I just want to say, was there any notification to any of the commissioners that this was going on?
No,
Yes.
I didn't
We
get
all
one.
agree with it.
Who's we? Am I
The
commissioners.
You said commissioner, not commissioner. Sorry.
commissioners? Is this
Is
anything?
commissioner the word for committee? I don't know.
Committee.
Committee, which
Oh,
I'm
I
on,
don't
and
Yeah,
as a
no,
voting member.
yeah.
Was there any?
It wasn't a committee decision because it's approved as a lower draft pick. It's not up to it's not a committee decision. It's automatic approval.
So
So with Sifu having been out for the last week.